My dad refuses to respect me as an adult, and today he took it too far. I'm the oldest daughter out of 3. My brother is 24, my sister is 16 and I'm 19. My dad and I bump heads a lot because he treats me like I'm 15 when it comes to what I wear, who I date, what I do, and even refuses to let me get a permit, license, or a car, with my own money. I'm literally 19 years old and don't know how to drive because he refuses to let me learn how. My mom recently set up a permit test and a class to learn how to drive behind his back because she agrees how ridiculous it is that I'm not allowed to drive. He always eavesdrops on my conversations between my mom and I about personal girl things. My sister and I are super close and tell each other everything about boys, and my dad will literally stand outside the door and listen to everything. It's embarrassing, like I don't want my dad knowing about what me and my boyfriend do, and I know my sister feels the same. He was never ever like this to my brother. Today I was seeing a new doctor for the first time and my dad drove me to the doctor's appointment. Since it was a new doctor, I had to fill out a lot of paperwork. I'm an adult, so I had to do it on my own, but my dad sat there constantly up my ass making sure he approved of everything I was putting down and putting his contact information before / instead of mine or my mom's. It asked for my phone number and I wrote my phone number instead of his, and he got annoyed. I got called in by a nurse before I finished the paperwork. After the nurse took my vitals, she left me in a room to wait for the doctor while I finished the paperwork. I'm glad my dad wasn't there to see the next stuff because it was all about periods and being sexually active. Once the actual doctor came in, I asked her if I could be referred to a gynecologist so I can get birth control along with other gynecologist related things. After the doctor left, an office lady came in the room with a paper. She explained to me that my dad took one of the papers from my paperwork and he's been filling it out on his own in the waiting room. She told me that they tried to explain that I have to be the one who fills it all out, but he was being very adamant about it. Typical. Then he left the doctor's office with the paper to pick my sister up from school while he waited for me to be done. She handed me a new copy and explained all of it to me. It was a privacy disclosure paper basically saying who I give permission to have access to my medical records, doctors, medicine, and etc. She said he checked everything off and put his name and number down, and all I had to do was sign on the copy he has. Obviously I freaked out and said he's absolutely not allowed to know about all of my medical stuff. Especially since he has no idea I asked for a gynecologist referral and I'd like it to stay that way. I ended up just putting my mom and her information down, and they told me when my dad came back with the paper he filled out asking me to sign it, I can, and they'll throw it out for me so he doesn't know. I apologized to the office lady on his behalf because it seems like he was being extra annoying about it. I feel super guilty about not putting his name on it, but also extremely mad because my dad tried to fill out medical documents without my knowledge.